All right, I made it. Woo, 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 woo. We are live. Welcome back. Elevate and engage. Thank you all for joining us and for your patience. Oh, I'm having massive Zoom issues. And I swear I say this every week, but I started 10 minutes early today and it's 15 after. So anyway, thank you for your patience. Glad we are live. Let me pull up our presentation. Let's see. I had everything up, but I had to restart. The restart of the restart of the restart. So it's Thursday. Give me a chat below. Let me know how your week's going. If you were going to take a look at this week and say the one thing that would make this a successful week, what is that one thing? Have you already done it? And if not, you've got the rest of today and tomorrow to get it done. It doesn't have to be something you do every single day. It can be one phone call. It could be, contacting that one person, whatever it is. Let me know what that one thing is. Hopefully every day you're working on at least the one thing that will move you closer to the BHAG, the big, hairy, audacious goal. And if not, let's see. Here we go. All right, I'm going to share my screen. And if you are not doing that, why not? That is the big question. Oh, wait, I didn't share in here. Let me go on my phone. There we go, share. So just so everybody knows, I typically share it into my group when I'm doing this, and I'm using Restream now. You can either go in through Zoom. Everybody's had a lot of problems with that. And that is not my problem today, believe it or not. But I did figure that out. You can either go in through Zoom or you can go in through Restream. I love Restream. It does seem a little bit easier, but Zoom now works just like Restream did. So you can do that too. I haven't tested it. And the last time I tried to do like all the places I wanted to go, it messed me up. So I need to test it again. All right, let's share screen, jump on our PowerPoint. Today we are talking about becoming the beacon, becoming the beacon. And this is important. Why? Because you may notice that I turned the top 6 insights to elevate your influence. It was 5. You'll see why, but a little bit of Erica cheese is why it's 6. You probably could guess that. Anyway, so becoming a beacon. The reason I think this is so important, and I think a lot of people don't really understand this. A beacon is, just in case you're like, what is that? A lighthouse, a lighthouse calls the boats to it. You want to be the beacon, calling your clients to you. You want to be the go-to place where they're looking and they want to go, right? That's where I want to be. So you want them to be coming to you. You want to attract your right fit clients. And the reason, well, there's a lot of reasons, but number one, you can hear it just in that. If you're attracting them, that means you're doing a lot less cold outreach and looking for people. So you can hear 2 things right there. No more cold, which is huge. The more you can be the beacon, the more you can be the one that they look to, the more that they know, like, and trust you. They're already in your world. It's a lot smoother to just move them into your programs. They already know that they love you. They already know that you're the one that can help them get to that next level and that you're the one that can show them whatever it is that you do, right? So for example, in my world, if somebody's coming to me, they've watched some of my stuff, they've jumped on, some of my Elevate and Engage or my challenge or, whatever it is that I have going on. I do events a lot because I think they're fun. But so maybe they've jumped on those. Maybe they have heard, that I've been around since 2007, whatever it is. They know that I've got the knowledge. They know that, I have the heart and the excitement and the passion, whatever it is that they're looking for to them. And they know that I'm the one that's going to help them get to that next level. And again, there might be a lot of other people that do the exact same thing. What is it that makes me their beacon? Well, it could be my personality. It could be, that we use an actual formula, the star transformation. It could be that. It could be a million and one things. What is it that makes you unique? And you really need to be able to get that out there. And we're talking a little bit more about that next week. But right now, becoming a beacon. So when we talk, oh, look at this. I got it off. The little club hand is off. It's kind of funny still. I'm going to therapy. But anyway, we talk about being in that sea of sameness, right? And when you pop out of that sea of sameness and you come up here, now you are that big. You don't have to be at this. Look at the little finger doesn't go up. You don't have to be at that top one yet. You can be right here. You never have to be at that top one. You can be right here and still be an 8-figure earner. Don't stress yourself out, right? You don't have to be, so famous that people stop you in the airport. That's not the idea here. The idea is for the people in your world to understand you, for people in your world to know what you're talking about and to be able to follow you and want to be in your world. So that's the main thing of you becoming the beacon. And a lot of experts, coaches that I know, they don't even really strive to be a thought leader because they're like, oh, I don't need that. I don't need to be famous. No, you don't need it, right? But number one, it makes your life easier because people are coming to you. Number two, the more you can expand your reach, the more impact you're making. If you are in my world, I love content and I do not tell you to hold anything back. I'm not one of those ones that says, give them the who, the what, and the hold back the why, or give them the what and the why and hold back I don't do that. Give it to them. Give it to them. The people that are going to work with you want to work directly with you. So if you're following that, you're giving everybody the content and therefore your reach expands. They can get what they need for free. And then they can jump on with you when they want a little bit more hand holding or personal. Hey, what do you think about this? Right? All right, let's move on. So, that was the last one. Ignore. All right, B, build authenticity. So if you follow me, I'm cheesy and I love my acronyms. So today's couple of hints, it's 6. You saw that from the first slide. First letter, B. So build authenticity. So what is the big thing about building authenticity? I'm going to read a couple of quotes as I get through. So 85% of consumers say authenticity is key when deciding what brands they like and support. They want to know you. And I'm not going to go on a tangent, but they don't want to know what you eat for breakfast unless you're a coach and that's relevant, right? If you want to show them what you're eating for breakfast, make it relevant to them. This isn't about you, right? You're not the celebrity. When you get to Tom Cruise status, maybe, but we're not going to talk about that. What we're talking about is them. Your audience is worried about what's important to them. So by you being authentic and sharing what you had for breakfast, they don't necessarily care. Sorry, what you had for breakfast, unless you can loop that back in. Example, on Fridays, I go for tea with one of my girlfriends. Every Friday, we go for tea and I take my dog. We have a little doggy date. If I wanted to post about that, how can I make that relevant? Nobody cares that I go for tea with my girlfriend every Friday, right? So how would I make that relevant? I make that relevant by saying on Fridays, I don't start working until probably 10 o'clock because by the time I get home, I unwind, blah, 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 and I start working at 10. I get to choose my hours. And I love that about being in control of my own life, my own business, my own hours, having the freedom to choose and to decide. That's part of who I am, what I'm all about. And most of my clients appreciate that and want the same. So if I want to post, I'm going to post about my tea tomorrow. I will. But if I want to post about that, then I want to tie it back. And how do I make that relevant to them? Because they want to be able to have tea on Friday with their girlfriends, right? They want to be able to do something like that or take their, kid to the movies in the middle of the day, or, if you pull them out of school or in the middle of the summer, whatever it is. So build authenticity by showing up as you, talking about who you are and what you're all about, but bringing it back. Always bring it back. A lot of people say that you can do a lot of miscellaneous things like showing your breakfast. I disagree. Bring it back. Tell them what's important to them. And the other thing with authenticity right now, we all know ChatGPT, AI, we need more of us. So it doesn't necessarily mean just your knowledge. Agreed. Put your knowledge out there. We want to know your knowledge, right? You're an expert. You're going from here to here. They want to follow you for your expertise, but they also want to follow you because you do crazy things. And they're like, oh my God, here she goes again. You know, God, why can she not figure out her technology? Whatever, you know, maybe, she's got those crazy eyelashes on again, whatever it is that makes them laugh or annoys them so much that they don't ever want to follow you again. It might be one or the other, right? But either way, it's very authentic, and some people will appreciate it and some people won't, but it's you. And so that's what you really want to be able to do, is have people understand who you are. Like I just said, I believe in putting out content. I believe in that. I believe in putting out everything you have and not holding back the what or the how or whatever it is that the coaches say. I don't believe that. So now you know a little bit of my personality, right? If I talk about my dog, you know about my life, but I'm always bringing it into what I'm doing. So you're getting a little piece of who I am and what I'm all about, but you also understand my values and what's important to me and how that helps you. So that's authenticity. You want to be able to build it while you're building your influence. So start right now. I don't care if nobody is looking at what you're doing. Start today. The fastest way to build authenticity is video. You don't have to do it live. You don't have to do events or anything like that. But if you can do reels, even those quick videos, if you can do any kind of video, that's the fastest way. And if you're like so nervous, you don't want to do it, jump on with somebody else. Like I've done this with a friend of mine. You know, we did like a little quick show together. Find somebody to do it with that's either in your niche or outside of your niche, and figure out a way to relate it. Hopefully their audience is your audience and you're sharing audiences. But build authenticity. If you are like, I am not going on video, number one, I would say it is really hard for you to be a coach in today's world if you do not want to show up on video. You need to show up on video. But let's just pretend for a second that you're still like, oh, I want to be a coach and I can do this. Faceless reels. Let's go. Let's go. I'm going to say, okay, but you're going to have to work 10 times harder to show your authenticity, because you have to show it in what you're writing in the post and how you're writing it. So make sure that they can see exactly what makes you you in every single thing that you do. It can't be cookie cutter. It can't look like everybody else. It can't be what everybody else is putting out there. Otherwise, what makes them want to follow you, right? You're a sea of sameness. If you're doing what everybody else is doing, how do they pick? They can't. That's how you pop up here, your authenticity. So B, authenticity. Let's move. Uh-oh. Do I have a blank screen? It's possible. E, establish consistency. If you follow me, I always say bikini body. Now, will I wear a bikini if I can get a bikini body? Well, maybe, probably not. But anyway, I put my bikini body up there. She's kind of skinny, but you get the point. Consistency. If I really wanted to get a bikini body, I would have to be very consistent in what I'm eating every day and my water intake and tracking what I'm eating and, skipping out on the Big Mac, that type of thing. Consistency is everything. And so, as you can tell, I'm not in my bikini body at the moment, and my consistency is off. Consistency is a really, really, really hard thing for a lot of us. And I am employing some methods with a BA right now to try to get a little bit better at that. If it works out, I'll let you know all about it. But I am trying to figure it out, because I need to be consistent in what I'm doing. And it's very hard for me as well. So consistency, I talk about that all of the time. And it's very it's very authentic that I tell you it's hard for me too. I get that. All right, so consistency. Brands that are consistently presented are 3 to 4 times more likely to experience brand visibility. 3 to 4 times. I would say it's way more than that, but that was the one that I found. So I'm going with it. But I would say it's way, way more than that. More than that. And if you can only do something once a week, then only do it once a week. If there is a possibility that you can do something every day, I say do it every day. And if you can do it at the same hour, do it at the same hour. That is also very, very, very important. That's why I try to have the show the same time every single week. Consistency. All right. Activate education and entertainment. So remember, we're BEA. Who can guess it? It's an easy one this week. Who can guess it? Drop it. If you're in Facebook, drop it down below. Oh, I forgot to go over there to comments. Drop it. Drop it down below if you can see it. I'm going to go into group. Yeah, drop it down there if you can see it. And all right. I don't know what I'm talking about. Drop it if you can see it. All right. Hey, drop it if you know the word. Drop it if you know the word. All right. BEA, activate education and entertainment. So we were talking about, they want to see your expertise. They want to know what you're talking about. And entertainment, this can be a lot of different things. A lot of different things. Reels are entertaining, maybe, depending on, I don't do the singing, the dancing. I am not recommending or saying that you do it. I honestly, like, I don't want to say I recommend against it, because if you love it and it's part of who you are and what you're all about, then go for it. But for most of us, I would recommend against it. I tried it a couple times and I looked just as idiotic as I felt. And maybe if you think that you don't look as idiotic as I did, you can scroll back and look at mine. Then maybe more power to you. But if you know, like Brock in Instagram, he's hysterical, and he does educate while he entertains. However, you don't necessarily need to be that kind of entertaining. This is entertaining, right? I can invite you to my show and entertain you like you're my guest. That could be one thing. You can, I do cocktails and collaborations. It's coming back. So if you want to get in on that, drop a C2. But stuff like that, where you can involve people, that's definitely entertaining. Polls are entertaining. That's engaging, right? Same thing. So think of different ways that you can entertain people in a way that feels good to you and represents who you are and what you're all about at the same time. So what I mean is, shaking my booty is definitely not, I didn't shake my booty even when I did it, but I did try to do the, like, let me show you my broken hand. I am like not coordinated enough for that stuff. So, all right, activate education and entertainment. You want to be putting it out consistently. C, connect through storytelling. All right, we have talked about this, and we will continue to talk about this over and over and over until everybody is telling stories. Why are stories so powerful? Because, example, I just told the story about how if you wanted to create content about your breakfast, and then I told you the story about how I go to breakfast and how I could create content about that and how I would loop it back to me. Right? You'll probably remember that I go to breakfast with my girlfriends. You might have understood the concept better when I gave you that example through my story. So stories are powerful for memorability. Is that a word? Stories are powerful for people to remember who you are and what you're all about. A lot of times they'll remember a story you told, and maybe not even what you do. They might remember that story you told. That's okay. You want them to remember you. You want to be in their recall. Obviously, we want them to remember what you do as well. But in the beginning, maybe just a story, and then they retell that story, and then they're talking to other people about that story. That's cool too, right? But also, if I have a background in education, and even in education, when I trained other teachers to teach English, one of the biggest things I told them was always, always, always use examples and scenarios that relate back to who they are. So if you're in a classroom of high school kids and you start, you're going through, the book, and the book's talking about a work scenario, and these kids have never worked a day in their life. How relevant is that to them? They're like, I don't even know what you're talking about. But if you can bring it back to, the game that you hear them all talking about, or the new movie that's out, or, I don't know, boyfriend and girlfriends breaking up, or whatever it is, if you can relate it to them through, it can be a real story, it can be a hypothetical story, it can be a like scenario, like I said, anything like that is storytelling. Don't get caught up in, there are a lot of people out there that tell you that it has to be, your real story. That's not necessarily true. I mean, look at TV. They don't do that. So think of yourself as a real business, a real company, and not every single story has to be, you or one of your clients. It can be a scenario that you walk people through so that they understand concepts and ideas and what you're talking about, and so they can relate it back to them. If you are talking to doctors, right? Maybe you're talking to, maybe you add in, for example, one of my clients is a finance coach. So if she's speaking to doctors, maybe what she says is, scenarios like, you've probably been in business, or you probably owned your own practice for the last 30 or 40 years. And now you're feeling like, wow, I just worked all of these years. I made, 300 to 500,000 every year for the last 20, and I have nothing to show for it. Well, there's still hope that you can be financially free if you start today, even if you're over 50. Like, let's just say that, right? That was a scenario. That's still storytelling. It still helps them feel like you're in their world and understand what they're going through. A lot of doctors, they have the cars and the houses and the blah, 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 but they have like nothing to show for it. That's like a common issue. Anyway, so you can do that through storytelling, through relating to them. So connect. Ooh, let's see what I had to say about connect. Oh, stories are 22 times more memorable than facts alone. And this is really good. If you do any podcast guesting, if you do any speeches or on stages, you'll notice, and start watching some of the good ones, TEDx and stuff. They add stories in to anchor points. And so back to the teaching, but I taught English for a while too. And another great way to anchor points, and it's not storytelling, but it's so similar that I will just say it in this part anyway, but like analogies or similes or something like that. So I don't know if you noticed on the first slide, I had a dragonfly. My brain is crazy. I had a dragonfly. So I have coming up, I haven't fleshed it totally out yet, but coming up, I'm going to do some more stuff about dragonflies, because I love the analogy of a dragonfly kind of combined with entrepreneurs or coaches, and you'll hear more about it. But anyway, that's like a little bit of storytelling, right? As long as you can connect the dots, relate the points, you get it. All right, BEAC. If you don't have it by now, I'm nervous for you. There are only 2 left. Drop it down below if you've got it. All right. Organized community engagement. Organized community engagement. Why did this start with O? Well, 2 reasons. One, because I needed an O. No, I'm just kidding. Well, that is, but you get it. Community engagement. Why is that so important? And why is it so important to organize it? So one of the biggest problems that a lot of us have is sometimes we'll be like, oh, we're invigorated, we're ready to rock and roll. We'll get on and we'll start sending out a bunch of messages, right? Or we'll jump in groups, and I've done this a million times. I've jumped in a group, I've done a post that got a lot of engagement, and I forgot to go back and communicate. organize your community engagement, right? You want to organize it. You want to know what's going on at all times. You want to be able to do what? Follow up, follow up, follow up, follow up. So it's not enough to go out there and network, right? That does nothing for you, just meeting a bunch of people. You have to keep in touch with them, follow up with them, and figure out ways to stay engaged or in their world or have them be in yours. And that is really, really, really important. And if you're not organizing the way that you do that, it's almost impossible, especially for, I'm going to venture out to say you and I, because my guess is most of you are like me and we can get super distracted very quickly, very easily. So organized community engagement. 64% of brands report that building an online community has increased their trustworthiness. Yes. So if you're not in my Facebook group, why not? Drop Facebook down below and our group. And I will send you over a link to make sure that you get in there. But being inside a group does build that trustworthiness because people show you, I might be late, but I'm here every Thursday, right? I'm always here every Thursday, every Thursday, every Thursday. And the group doesn't go away. It stays on and on and on. So that builds that. But also when you can get an engaged group, you've got other people that are now your ambassadors without you ever having to ask them. People who know, like, and trust you are going to now start talking about how you've helped them or how amazing you are or how this has done that for them, that type of thing. So community engagement is a really, really, really big part of what we do. And I know a lot of people are moving away from Facebook groups. And I am personally thinking about putting in a school group, but I am not going to take away my Facebook group. No way, no how. And, maybe I'll be left with the dying dinosaurs. I don't know. But right now, I still see Facebook groups as one of the absolute best places for community. And I can go into a million reasons why, but I personally still see it as one of the best places. So let me know your thoughts on it. Let's see. All right. So BAEAC. Oh, last one. If you don't have your guess in, put it in now. Navigate feedback. All right. I'm going to say a couple of things about feedback. Let me read the thing real quick first so I can put this paper down. All right. Companies that implement customer feedback showed a 10% higher growth rate than those that don't. 10%? Okay. Maybe. I again would probably venture to guess higher, but let's go with the low one. What if it's only 10%? That's still pretty big, right? You want 10%. If you have 100 people, that's 10 people. That's nice, right? If you could close 10 of your 100, that's 10%. You'd be happy with that. So 10% is a good number. Feedback. And why do we say navigate feedback? Of course, two reasons. One, the end, but also the navigate is important. And the reason is because we need feedback to improve. And what I like to say, 1% better daily, that is personal and business. We want to be improving every single day. So we want to figure out a way that we can accept what other people say, good or bad, and either discard it, learn from it, implement it, or give it to somebody else to run with it, right? One of those, I would say. So when you're getting feedback, you can decide what you want to do with it. And I always laugh because I say this one a lot, but somebody on one of my reels wrote something like, your eyelashes are obnoxious or something. And that's feedback, right? I could take that as constructive feedback if I wanted to. I could take that as, maybe I should reconsider whether I want to wear these eyelashes or not. What I'm not going to do is cry, get in my bed and pull the covers up over my head and take it personally. This guy doesn't know me. He doesn't know anything about me. What if I, needed eyelashes for some reason? I don't. But what if my eyelashes were have you ever heard of the, what is that called? Like the super ego, like, there's a word for it, but like where you put something on. I had something here. that I did, but it was for this hand and it doesn't fit right now. I'll get back to using it, but it was a bracelet my grandmother gave me. So have you ever heard of that thing where like you put something on to kind of get into character? You know, maybe my eyelashes are that for me, and they give me that, you know, Wonder Woman superpower, and I put my eyelashes on. It's not true, but what if it was? You know, he doesn't know that I don't need that. He doesn't know me. Anyway, my point is, don't take it personally. I would, you know, that one I disregarded right off the bat because I love my eyelashes, and I've heard 1,000,001 comments about the eyelashes from people way closer to me than people, miscellaneous people on the internet. I love them. I wear them for me. I'm not wearing them for anybody else. I wear them for me. And I, you know, whether I get on video or not, I have them on almost all of the time. After I getting mahi, probably not all of the time, but almost all of the time I wear them because I love them. So you can disregard. You don't, just because somebody says something doesn't mean you have to do something about it. Disregard is a perfectly acceptable thing to do about it. You might, you know, be like, ooh, that kind of hurt, you know, like you can feel the sting. And then I'm studying positive intelligence right now. And one of the ways to deal with things is to see the 10% good in it. So maybe if somebody says something that stings, you can look at it and say, you know, is this a total disregard, or is this something where maybe as mean and nasty as it was, maybe there's a little bit of truth to it. How can I improve myself, my business, my, you know, operation, whatever it is that we're working on, that they're talking about? How is it that I can improve that? Is there something I can take out of that? You know, keep in mind, there are a lot of trolls. There are a lot of angry, you know, sad people that have nothing better to do. But every now and then, there are some people that have really great ideas and just really bad communication skills. If you ever want to give somebody feedback, number one, do it privately. You don't have to put it on the, you know, in front of everybody. So I automatically assume if somebody's putting something negative in front of everybody, it's probably not with good intentions, right? So my first go-to would probably be, you know, disregard it. But maybe they have something good in there. So definitely look at it, you know, and there's not just negative feedback. There's positive feedback too. If it's positive feedback, what are you going to do with that? You're going to screen capture it. You're going to write it down in a, you know, ongoing journal that you keep. You're going to have something that you keep ongoing, whether it's an online journal, you know, if you write it down in papelitos, little pieces of paper, make sure that you keep it all in one place. If you have a notebook for it, make sure it's the same notebook every single time. I would say digitize it. But if you do it online, make sure it's the same place over and over and over again that you put all of those things. Why? Because on the day that somebody gives you the nasty one and it really stings, you go over there and you read all the great ones, right? Give yourself a reason to love waking up and jumping out of bed, even the day after you have crashed and burned so bad you didn't think it was possible to get out of bed when you were going to bed, right? So make sure that you're keeping a list of the feedback that is positive. And then, you know, some of the positive, like in our picture, is just neutral. You know, maybe it's like, let me save this for later. I'm not even sure what to do with this. Maybe you have a list of those and you write some context to it, what they were talking about, or however you can do it, and save it for later. Get feedback from other people on your feedback. You can do that as well. Polls, you know, ask your mentor, your coach, something like that. So it's important to your becoming a beacon. And why is that? Because you want to be their go-to place. Number one, if you're all over the map, they don't know where you are, right? If your light signal is doing this, they don't know where to point towards. So make sure your light signal is this, right? That one big bright beacon. It's this one big bright beacon. And that they know where to move towards, that they know that. So that's it. Let me see. I think I did I do a slide on? Oh, the beacon. All right, becoming a beacon. Top 6 insights: build authenticity, establish consistency, activate education and entertainment, connect through storytelling, organizes community engagement, and navigate feedback. Let me know in the comments, Which one of these are you rocking? Which one are you like, oh, I've got this? Let me know which one. BEACON. Which one are you rocking? And then let me know which one you're gonna work on next. Which, that's how we say it. Which one are you gonna work on next? Not a negative thing. It doesn't mean it's a bad thing that you're not rocking it. It just means you haven't worked on it best yet. So which one are you gonna work on next? Let me know in the comments. And obviously, if you ever need help with any of them, I am here. Jump on a chat. All right, becoming the beacon. Let your passion be a beacon, guiding you and those around you to new horizons. So why do I say that? Remember, I say 110%, and I believe that we are in our element. We're in our zone, our flow, all of the above when we combine that passion and purpose. And that means that we are like, go, 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 go. There is zero that can stop us. Those negative comments, they might get us under the covers for maximum the rest of the day, right? Give yourself limits on everything. Maximum end of the day. But what's going to make you pop right up and jump out of bed excited to go again? And that is your passion. Let your passion be a beacon, guiding you and those around you to new horizons. Let them see you smile after it takes you 15 minutes to get on a Zoom and look like a fool. Let them see you smile through it. Don't worry about it. Why? Because everybody else has problems and issues and everything else. And I am not one to tell you to wear it on your sleeve at all. Please don't share your dirty laundry while it's dirty laundry. Wait till you clean it and then share how you cleaned it, right? Something like today, that's minor. I'm not going to go crawl up in a hole because I've got some technology issues, right? You're not either. You just keep moving through it and do it when you can. Get through it, get through it, get through it. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining today. I am going to stop the share. I'm going to get off of Facebook. Ciao, ciao. See y'all.